including the X-Men, right?
Yes.
Could you, of course you can't tell me much, but can you give me a little hint of what the future is coming? Where's the future going and the excitement?
I don't know where the future is going. It's funny that people call it the X-Men. There's a lot of female superheroes in that X-Men group, so I think it's outdated.
This is ex-Marvel Studios executive Victoria Alonso, and she was fired a little while ago, but she was on board with all the VFX and stuff like that, so she knows exactly what Disney and Marvel are planning with the future of future projects such as the X-Men. So I think that was a little tease. That was a little glimpse into the future as to what we can expect with the X-Men. And here it is. Kevin Feige's X-Men movie. That's the MCU X-Men reboot. It's going to be female focused. Of course. Of course. Now, listen, there are plenty of women in the X-Men already, right? It's always been a very diverse team. You got Jean Grey, she's always been like a leader. You got Jubilee Storm, another leader. It's always been very diverse. That was the point of the X-Men. But the issue here is that Kevin Feige and Disney and Marvel, they're making it a point to tell you that this X-Men is going to be female focused. And that just boggles my mind. If this is what they're going to go with, if this is how they're going to write this story, it's going to be the female, front and center, and the dudes are going to be in the back, morons like they've been in every Disney project for the past 3 years. It's gonna be a flop, Disney. And here's the thing, nothing brings me more joy than to read these stories, because I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a complete disaster for Disney, a complete disaster for Marvel in the box office, and that brings me joy, because it's further proof that these ideologies that they're trying to shove on you and on your children, they don't work. We don't want this shit. Let's read what this has to say, okay? And this is just a rumor as of right now, but these rumors always end up being true. No one saw this coming. I didn't know who didn't see this coming. No one saw this coming, but it is claimed that Kevin Feige's X-Men in the MCU will be female focused. Feige and Marvel are currently moving to the X-Men in the MCU, which is either through the start of Deadpool 3 or Avengers Secret Wars. Following those movies, which are thought to put the final nail in the coffin for the Fox Marvel universe, it is assumed Kevin Feige will introduce the new MCU's new X-Men. Well, according to rumors, Feige's X-Men is all about the female characters. And these are just some of the female characters that were introduced in the Fox X-Men movies. And like I said, it's always been a very diverse team, the X-Men. You've always had women and powerful women front and center. So for them to make this MCU movie all about the ladies, and I assume they're going to do what they've done with everything else, with Indiana Jones, with Star Wars, with every Marvel movie they've come out with. The dudes are always in the back. They're always morons. They're always losers. We saw it with Luke Skywalker in the sequels with Han Solo. I mean, that's their thing. According to the scooper Daniel RPK, who recently nailed that info about Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards in Fantastic Four, the initial idea from Kevin Feige is to focus on the female members of the X-Men. Jesus Christ, dude. It's further said that Kevin Feige wants to move the X-Men in the MCU as far away as possible to make them different than what Fox did with its franchise and movies. This X-Men movie is going to be a huge flop, a huge failure in the box office, and then they're going to go out of their way to blame you for being a misogynistic, for not liking women, for trashing this movie. Like, dude, that's not it. These idiots, they just don't understand. That's not it. Okay, it's just that you put ideologies, you put agendas, you put messaging, you put, all this other crap before a good story. And that's all I see here. That's all I see here with this article, that they are choosing to make it female focused. So you know what that means? That means that it's not good story focus. It means they're if a writer came up with a brilliant idea, Like, I don't know, maybe doing the story with Mr. Sinister and with Jean Grey, where she passes away, and then Scott Summers falls in love with the clone of Jean Grey, and then like do that story. But you can't do that story because that story is focused on Scott Summers. So you can't do that story. It's just more of the same with Disney. It's more of the same with Marvel, and you would think that these people have had enough with the pain. But apparently not. They want more. They want more. And man, they're not going to quit. They're not going to admit they were wrong. They're not going to admit this shit doesn't work. They're going to keep it moving. They're going to keep trucking along. And ultimately, it's going to be another failure at the box office. But anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. And like always, don't forget to subscribe. Sensational.